Hello everyone, this is Marla Witkowski, and I'd like to share my literature review on using situated professional development to break down barriers to effective technology integration. I'll begin by sharing some statistics regarding the prevalence of technology in our schools. As of fall 2005, 100% of public schools in the United States had access to the internet. 97% of those schools had broadband access. 94% of the instructional rooms within public schools had internet access. 83% of connected public schools in the United States offer their educators professional development workshops on how to integrate technology into the curriculum. However, 51% of educators responding to the Speak Up 2007 survey indicated that their primary uses for technology was to facilitate lower-level skills, such as asking students to complete homework assignments using the computer or assigning practice work at the computer using drill and practice software. Let's take a look at some of the barriers to technology use. Ertmer et al. Espoused that there are two types of barriers that impact educators' use of technology. First-order barriers are barriers that are considered to be external to the educator. They include limited access to hardware and the internet, limited access to software and tools, lack of professional development, inadequate administrative, technical, and peer support, and insufficient time to plan instruction. Second-order barriers are those that are considered internal to the educator, and they include confidence in technological acumen, beliefs about how students learn, established classroom practices and existing pedagogy, and the perceived value of technology in the learning process. Baker described teachers as viewing the computer as either an inspiration or an intrusion, depending upon the meanings and values they assign to technology. I'll now provide a quick review of some of the articles that I read regarding technological barriers. Ertmer found that teachers use technology to support their curriculum by providing extra practice to reinforce skills, and that they often viewed technology as a supplement to the existing curriculum. Teachers identified many of the same barriers to technological use as mentioned before. But an interesting finding was that teachers who used technology as a supplement experienced more second-order barriers, often not seeing the relevance for technology use. Teachers who believed that technology supported and enriched the curriculum identified more first-order barriers, most notably lack of assistance. Mueller compared the differences between high and low integrators using a sample of elementary and secondary teachers. Both elementary and secondary teachers identified that positive outcomes with computers, the teacher's comfort level with computers, and beliefs related to computers, as well as their own use of computers at home and school, were variables predictive of higher levels of technology integration. Another interesting finding was that student-centered constructivist approaches in which technology is used to collect, analyze, and present information lend themselves to more meaningful integration. Liu and Szabo surveyed teachers regarding their concerns towards technology integration, and we find many of the same concerns: the need to know more about technology and the internet, concerns regarding time and effort expended on technology integration efforts, and lack of specific and definite ideas about how to use technology in the classroom. Teachers utilizing a direct instruction pedagogy use technology for lower-level skills, such as tutorials and drills, while teachers utilizing a constructivist approach integrated technology to do problem-solving and enhance presentation skills. Otbrecht-Leftwich et al. Did a qualitative case study of 8 educators looking at the similarities and difference to teachers' value beliefs regarding technology. Teachers held strong beliefs that technology would improve teacher efficiency and effectiveness by using technology to enhance classroom operations, to create materials, and to engage in professional development. They did use technology to engage and motivate students, enhance the use of higher-order thinking skills, and to equip students with skills for the future. Even if teachers found value in the student-centered use of technology, they reported difficulty with implementation because they could not see how it would work in their classroom. Another qualitative case study performed by Ertmer found that external barriers were more impactful than internal barriers. For example, support, state standards and assessments, money, and time. Attitudes and beliefs of other teachers were thought to have the most impact on student uses of technology. Among the 12 teachers studied, there was only one educator whose beliefs did not match her classroom practice. The researchers felt that the mismatch may have been caused by first-order barriers, such as limited access to computers and the lack of a high-speed connection to the internet. Next, let's take a look at how technology professional development is delivered and factors that may add additional barriers to implementation. The context in which we prepare pre-service educators places little emphasis on technology. In many cases, pre-service teachers may only receive a single isolated course, and they may also have faculty who do not demonstrate and promote the use of technology to teach relevant subject matter. During practica and student teaching field experiences, they may also not see examples of best practices in technology integration. The majority of American in-service teachers receive 8 hours or less of professional development annually. It has also been found that short-term, workshop-based, and tool-focused professional development is still the prevalent delivery method for technology professional development in American schools. This type of training can act as a barrier when it focuses solely on technological skills and has little connection to curriculum or pedagogy. The scheduling and design of professional development also provides little time for educators to communicate and collaborate to design innovative technology products that align with the curriculum. Mauza espouses that traditional training sessions without follow-up support are ineffective in impacting teachers' technology integration. This suggests a need for ongoing professional development. Kopcha found that the barriers that were deemed most disruptive for teachers were allocating time to plan for technology integration, spending instructional time on issues related to technology, such as software updates and connectivity issues, and allocating time to learn new skills in order to teach with technology. Teachers indicated that situated professional development, wherein a mentor provided individualized training and support in the context of their own classrooms, positively affected their attitudes towards using technology for learning. Kerwood's ethnographic case study found that younger, tech-savvy educators explored a wider variety of digital tools and integrated them more in their instructional practices. However, more experienced educators that may possess more limited technical skills are better able to analyze student work and to consider the impact of technology on achievement much more effectively than their less experienced colleagues. Ertmer and Ottenbreit-Leftwich performed a literature review and looked at effective technology development content. They found that it should include technology, knowledge, and skills, the ability to see a connection between the technology and subject area content, technology-related classroom management skills, and it should engage educators in situated learning through the use of lesson studies, mentoring, or coaching opportunities. Brinkerhoff found that educators indicated an increase in their technology skills due to the time spent developing projects for and utilizing print resources provided by a 2-year teacher academy. Educators felt more confident in their use of technology due to learning experiences during the academy, and they reported using more student-centered approaches to teaching, while carefully considering the use of technology and how it aligned with the curriculum. Glaser and Page provided an overview of a professional development model called collaborative apprenticeship, in which teachers move through a 4-stage process while developing their technology integration skills. They're introduced to technology and then move to a developmental stage where they design an integrated lesson to address curriculum in consultation with a mentor. Once they become proficient, they're able to develop lessons independently with minimal input, and then finally, at the mastery level, are able to design completely without support and may work as a mentor with other teachers at their grade level. Let's look at some of the implications and suggestions for further research. Traditional professional development efforts have been based on the assumption that teachers can make connections between technology use and the curriculum. Professional development needs to dispel the myth that technology is an add-on to the curriculum, but instead can be used to enhance and extend the curriculum. Situated professional development, wherein educators gain practice with instructional technology in the context of their own school and classroom, seems to be a strong catalyst for breaking down negative beliefs about the relevance of technology, providing educators with positive experiences using technology, and providing educators with time to develop their own materials. Educators can look to network support systems for assistance, which can help eliminate some first-order barriers to technology use. Looking to both in-person and online social networks can assist educators in sharing ideas and seeing positive examples of technology integration among their peers. Educators are more likely to implement technology if provided evidence that it produces meaningful learning outcomes for students, most notably in performance tied to state standards and standardized assessments. One-and-done professional development workshops provide few, if any, opportunities for follow-up. Schools should look to on-site personnel, such as technology coordinators, mentor teachers, and others to provide input on the design, implementation, and reflection upon technology-integrated lessons. Some suggestions for further research. Clairo theorizes that the process of integrating technology into the content area may take up to 5 years as educators move from using technology as a supplemental activity to using it to facilitate emerging curriculum. The majority of studies cited in this literature review did not take a long-term view of how educators move through these stages. Technology can change dramatically over a 4-year period. How can teachers be supported in these changes without reverting to skills-based training? We should also be looking to determine the extent to which mentoring, communities of practice, and teacher beliefs play a role in creating an environment that promotes technology integration. We should measure whether or not activities that integrate technology increase student performance relative to state standards and standardized assessments. And we should define what the characteristics of an effective learning experience is that integrates technology. A little humor to close out with today. I'm finding more and more that my students are becoming more literate than I ever could be. And my references. Thank you for listening to my review.